Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the NCW Life magazine. I'm Jay Seebeck. On Tuesday, January 9th, the Seattle Mariners Caravan visited the Pybus Public Market as part of their tour of the Pacific Northwest. Catcher Mike Marjama, pitcher Marco Gonzalez, and everybody's favorite utility player, Taylor Motter, were present alongside Mariners radio broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith. During their stay, the Mariners held a panel where eager fans got to ask the players some questions. And after that, they hosted a raffle for some exclusive Mariners gear. Today, you'll get to see the full Q&A panel, as well as my interviews with all the players. All right, Nathan and Levi. Nathan, I'll ask you first. What are you most excited about for this year with the Mariners?
Well, every year it's a tradition of our families to go to the home opener, and I'm really excited, and hopefully they'll win.
I'm excited about this year that I hope they go to the playoffs.
More from the Seattle Mariners Caravan when we come back.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
It's time to learn about some of our favorite Mariners on the NCW Life magazine.
Well, we've got a lot of Mariners fans in the house, which is great to see. Everybody getting excited for the season? Anybody here make a trip out to Peoria? I will. You will? All right, you won't need that hat. But you can bring it. That'll be great. Keep the sun out of your eyes. Well, we're very excited for spring training, which is just around the corner, and what we think is going to be a really competitive, really strong Mariners team this year. D. Gordon, newest Mariner, one of the newest Mariners. This is going to be pretty fun to see. Ryan Healy, new first baseman for the Mariners. So a bit of a revamped lineup in some ways, but the mainstay is still coming back. And we're pretty pumped to get out underneath the Arizona sun, watch a little Mariners baseball. And then opening day, which this year, opening day will be before we turn the calendar to April. So it gets started even sooner. A little bit of a longer season in terms of days that it covers this season, but still 162 as usual, so we're pretty pumped for it. Well, we're excited to bring to you guys a few Mariners players that you have already heard of and some of which you will see even more of this coming season. First of all, you probably saw this young man near the end of the season who came over from the Tampa Bay Rays. Mariners catcher, had a pretty awesome first home run in the major leagues. one of the final days of the season. Let's give it up for Mike Margema. Now, I'm not seeing any wigs, any blonde long wigs out here today, but I did, all right, close. Doesn't appear to be a wig or blonde, but you got the general idea right. But we started to see some pretty legit wigs around Safeco Field, which I think made some people uncomfortable at first, and then we really understood that this is pretty awesome. And of course, those wigs are for one guy only, right? Let's hear it for Mariners everything, man, Taylor Motter. Now, we got a guy that's a little bit of a homecoming here tonight, and we were expecting to maybe set up a separate autograph table just for this one dude who's been a great guy to be around so far in the Caravan. We got a chance to get him to know him a little bit last year after he came over from the St. Louis Cardinals organization. But former Zag greats and former Apple Sox great as well. Marco Gonzalez is in the house. All right, Mike, we'll start with you, man. Everybody's going to get a chance to ask some questions, but Mike, just to kind of get things warmed up. First of all, you've been having some fun in the Caravan, man. This is a good time for you.
No, it's no fun. No, it's a blast. It's awesome being out here. You know, one of the big things that's cool about this is you guys being fans come and see us, right, in Seattle. So you get to see us kind of on our turf, or on our home field. So for me, I think one of the big things is be able to come out to your home field and see what's going on. And, being from Northern California, I've been up to the area a few times up here, but now being a West Coast guy and being able to come up and kind of tour the state and check it all out and see you guys kind of, like I said, on your home field is really, really cool. So I've enjoyed seeing all the new places.
What's the off-season been like for you?
Oh, hectic. So I had a little bit of downtime, and then just kind of getting back into things down at home, down near Sacramento. I'm kind of in between Sacramento and Tahoe in the Sierra Nevada foothills there, so give you an idea. So I've been doing that, and I went to Dominican Republic to play, and that was crazy.
How's your Spanish now? Better?
Oh, bueno, papi. No, it's good. So I'm sure Motter has more Spanish than me. Now that he's played a few winters down there. But yeah, so it's been great. And then I went to Rookie Career Development, the organization. I had the privilege to go out there and see a bunch of the prospects and guys in baseball. So flew straight from there to here. So now staying busy and building up my airline frequent flyer miles, I guess.
Well, we're happy to have you with us. Mike Margema, everybody. Now, Taylor, when you got off the bus first, the rest of us were taking bets as to which luxury sports car you would compare yourself here to today. Because you guys have to understand that last night at the Sun Dome, Taylor compared himself to a Ferrari and a Lambo.
Didn't say myself. I said older veteran players.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we're excited to hear what you have in store for us today. But what's the offseason been like for you?
It's been nice and easy, actually. It's been great. I got engaged. That's a plus. Yeah, thank you. Bought my first home, another big thing. And being a homeowner is not easy. It feels like something goes wrong every other day. So just trying to keep up with that and get ready to help this team make a playoff.
Well, you had a lot of highlights from last year, man. What did you take away the most from last season with the Mariners, your first year in the organization?
How well that team gels. The team's a very good team in the clubhouse, and us making a playoff is inevitable. I think it's more of a question of when, and I hope it'll be this year. But the biggest thing I got from there was, that team clicks. Everybody on that team is going out to dinner, having a good time. They hang out together. That's what you need in a clubhouse, and I think we accomplished that.
Now Scott was pretty famous with his spring training clubhouse meetings. And a lot of those, understandably so, are, player only, right? And the information stayed in the clubhouse. But there was one that Scott himself talked to us about, Taylor, and it involved you and what seemed to be a haircut. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you guys weren't there for that, were you?
Yeah.
So I guess it was when the Cubs did their annual, I played when Joe was in Tampa, Madden, and they do the Cut for Cure every spring training, and we were going to donate to something, and we were trying to figure out what nonprofit we wanted to donate to. So, we had some rumors going around that we needed to cut some hair. We had some guys in the locker room with some long hair. So we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and it became a big joke that everyone in the clubhouse besides me knew that we were going to fake cut my hair. And for about a week, I was living life on the edge, not knowing whether I was going to have to cut it or not. But we ended up finding another place to donate to, and my big thing was I had to donate more than everyone else in the clubhouse because I wasn't willing to chop the hair off.
But then they came like dangerously close to actually cutting your hair, right?
Oh yeah, Felix had the buzzer in his hand, and it was on and going, and he was ready to do it. He wanted to, even though he knew it was a joke. He wanted to do it. So it was good though. We found another nonprofit to donate to, and we all chipped together, and then we did a really good thing.
That's cool, man. Well, Taylor Motter, everybody. Happy to have him with us here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Marco. This is your turf, man. How's it feel to be back?
It feels amazing. I have so many memories here. I spent the summer of 2010 playing for the Apple Sox, and one of the best summers of my life, no doubt. It was right after my senior year of high school and right before I went to Gonzaga, and I was fortunate enough to play with 5 or 6 guys who were also going to Gonzaga, who are still my lifelong friends. And so the friendships, the memories I have here are incredible. I've been back a couple times. My brothers played for the Apple Sox, so I love it here. Love being back.
Hey, last year was an interesting year for you. It's always difficult, I'd have to think, the first time a player gets traded. But even more so when it's mid-season. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so we had actually just gotten back from a bus ride from Oklahoma City back to Memphis in AAA, and we got back at 8 a.m. We busted the night. So I get a few hours of sleep. We have a game that night at home, and about 10 a.m. I'm woken up by a phone call from the GM of the Cardinals saying, "Hey, you gotta pack your bags. You're going to Seattle." And I was like, "Are you kidding? Like when?" He's like, "Tomorrow." I was like, "Holy cow!" But that's the nature of it. And so for my first trade, it honestly couldn't have come to a better spot. I've been living in Seattle for the past 4 years, and I love it. I'm a Northwest guy, so it's great to be home.
Happy to have Marco Gonzalez with us here tonight, everybody. Well, now it's your opportunity. We're going to pass around a microphone or two, and you're going to have a chance to ask these guys some questions. So have at it.
How many sunflower seeds do you guys eat a year?
Taylor Motter actually just got his blood tested and had some testing work done. This is a true story. So we'll have Taylor elaborate on why he can't eat seeds for probably the next 10 years based off blood work.
Yeah, so I got a blood work test done this offseason to see what I was deficient in and hopefully make myself a better player so we can make the playoffs. And the result came back of what you're allergic to, what things you might be allergic to. So to answer your question, I was absolutely through the roof on sunflower seeds. Haven't eaten a sunflower seed since the season ended. So I'm not allowed to eat another sunflower seed for the next 2 years. So I would say I was at a bag and a half, 2 bags a game, and now I'm gonna have to cut back to none. So.
And also the people that clean up the dugout were not very happy with his bag and a half of seeds underneath his feet after the game.
How much gum do you eat a game?
In one mouthful? Oh boy. I've tried a lot. I want to say I probably put about, it depends what type of gum you're talking about. The little Trident ones, man, you can throw a lot of those in there. But it gets expensive after little things. But like if you get the double bubbles that are in the dugout, dude, I've gone to like 18 or 19. Yeah. No, in one. Yeah. My jaw hurt really bad though afterwards. Can you guys, I don't know. Taylor, you're good at blowing bubbles.
Buddy, I stick to sunflower seeds.
He's a sunflower seed guy. But during a game, that whole bucket, and then you have like Nelly that comes over and the seeds go flying everywhere and gum goes flying everywhere. So we probably go through a few buckets a game.
Can Taylor Motter do a hair flip?
Best question yet on the Caravan. No, it's not a question. That was a statement. That was not a question. That was a statement. Who wants to see Taylor Motter flip his hair? Who wants to see this?
Taylor. All right. Get your cameras out. It's happening once. We're going on count of 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. What are you most excited about in this upcoming season, considering you've got D. Gordon on your team, all these all-stars, and what's it feel like going into this season? Well, I think first and foremost, we're excited to be out here too. Thank you guys for having us out here. We're glad to see you guys out here, and I'm glad we can make it on this trip. Second part, I'm really excited with where we're at as a team right now. We made a lot of moves. Granted, if you look in our division, other teams are making moves as well. So I really think another World Series team is going to be in our division. I just think it depends who. But adding Healy and D, guys like that are not only going to help our team, but they're young enough and scrappy enough to fit into our blue-collar type attitude in that clubhouse. So I think it's big additions.
Player interviews coming up on the NCW Life magazine after the break.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Carrie Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
It's time for the interviews with the Seattle Mariners on the NCW Life magazine.
All right, I'm joined here with Mariners catcher Mike Margera. And Mike, you have been with the Mariners organization for only a couple months starting the last season, and then this is your first official season with the Mariners. And so tell me a little bit about what the transition was like coming from Tampa Bay up to Seattle.
I had been traded before. It was in an off season though, so it was kind of just getting acclimated during spring training and stuff, so nothing really in the middle of the year. So coming over the middle of the year was a little bit hard, especially being a few years we'd come up together for about 3 years together with the group of guys we have to raise. So it's just learning some new guys, really the same thing. Baseball is still the same game. It's still 90 feet to each base. None of that really changes. So it's just meeting the guys and trying to learn what makes them tick.
And so in my opinion, from the time that I've spent playing baseball, catcher's the most physically straining position because you're going up and down. It's difficult. It's hard on your legs. How do you prepare, especially during the off season, getting ready for the 160-game long season?
Oh, for sure. Well, there comes a point when you kind of want to just maybe take a downtime for a few weeks, just kind of let your body recover. And then kind of get back to work. So a lot of the things that I was a converted catcher, so I haven't been doing it too long, so I think my body's still in decently okay shape maybe versus a kid that's been catching since they were 10. So a lot of things I'm trying to do right now are just on flexibility, keeping the strength up. Just got back from playing in the Dominican Republic, so got some more time down there just to get some more rest behind the plate. And I think the biggest thing is really just getting some flexibility in and building the strength in the lower half to get ready for this long season.
And so I believe on October 1st of last year, that was kind of a big game for you. Can you take our fans through a little bit of what happened on that day?
Yeah, I don't remember much of it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, really cool. I got to catch Pax down in Anaheim. So last game of the year. He had a great outing. Unfortunately, we didn't get that win, and there were definitely some things I learned during that game, and especially my whole course through September. But my first two, I guess if you're leading to the home run, that would be the cool thing. Yeah, my first two at bats, I think I was maybe trying to do too much. I was just feeling around. So my last at bat, I was like, you know what, this is probably the last at bat you're going to get the whole year. Like, screw it, just go out there, do what you do, and just let it fly. And then it kind of went a blur from there. So it was a great experience for that.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a good piece of advice there. Sometimes as a hitter, you get so locked up in your own head that sometimes you just need to let it go clean and start over, and then sometimes you let a ball fly out of the park. So I mean, that's got to be a pretty good feeling. So tell me a little bit about what are some of your keys for this coming season. What are some things that that you feel you need to get accomplished in order to have like the season that you want to have in a way? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like on a personal level.
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest thing for me is to kind of take it day by day. There's some things that I'm trying to work on myself, whether it be swing, behind the plate, just keeping in health, keeping all that stuff going. So we have such a great team in terms of veteran presence and guys that can kind of show you the ropes. So for me, it's just learning from those guys, and that's really what I did in September with Carlos Ruiz and Z, and all these guys have a great amount of time in the big leagues. Hey, how can I learn from these guys and gain some knowledge? So it's going to be just being a sponge during spring training here and going about business and winning a job, and that's the biggest thing, is coming in here and for myself, just prepare every day like I always do. I always feel like I'm the first one in, last one out, hardest worker. So I'll stay along those things, and then just get ready and have a playoff bound push here and hopefully a World Series push.
All right, I'm joined here by Marco Gonzalez of the Seattle Mariners. And so, Marco, being a pitcher in the MLB, you got to have a pitch that's carried you all the way through, whether it was Little League, high school, college, and now in the pros. What is that out pitch of yours?
Yeah, for me, it's my changeup. It's something that my dad taught me when I was really young, and something that a lot of people have asked me how I throw it, and sometimes I'm not really sure. It just kind of comes out, and it's natural to me. But something that I've tinkered with and tried to perfect over a long time, and I hope it just keeps getting better.
How have things been going being with the Mariners so far, and what are some things that you're looking forward to in the coming year?
Yeah, I'm pretty new. I got traded over in July, but the things that I saw are really positive. Great organization from top to bottom. Jerry does a great job of getting our staff together. I think we're going to have a lot of talent this year and have a lot of fun. So very excited for the year ahead.
If you were to be talking to a younger player that is wanting to be a pitcher, maybe because what a lot of guys come out with, they got the fastball and then they don't know how to mix it up, and you were talking about your changeup. What are some tips that you would be giving to those younger players in order to be able to find success and get to your level?
Yeah, I would keep it pretty vague. I would say that try to learn something new every day, and I think that you can get caught up in trying to do this and that and get to this level and that level, but if you stick to the process of getting better just a little bit every single day, then you'll get to where you want to be.
Okay, and last question. What are some things that you've been working on this offseason to help prepare you going into this next year to have the most success possible?
Yeah, I've been unfortunate to have some injuries in my career, and coming off Tommy John surgery a year and a half ago, I've just been working on my strength and durability for this year. So I feel great, and I've been throwing and ramping it up, and everything is positive so far. So that's my only goal, is to be on the field for all 162 this year.
I love being with Seattle. I love being in the town. It's a great baseball town. Everybody knows everything about baseball, and it's a great place to play. The fact of being the type of player I am is tough. I had to learn how to cope a little bit with it. I came out hot with a bad injury with Segura, and nobody likes to see that. And I came out and played well, and then as I started fitting more into the role that I was going to do, I started declining a little bit as a player. But now I need to be mentally strong and understand the role that I'm going to be with being a utility guy. I'm going to help these guys out, and I'm here to win ball games for this team. So I'm excited with the pieces that we've brought to the team this year, and I think it'll help big time.
So what you kind of just said is kind of the story of the ups and the downs that is classic with baseball. What are some things that you would tell maybe a younger player, a high school kid that, they go in that slump, and how do you find a way to get yourself out of that? What is the method that you use to dig yourself out?
The problem with baseball, it's a very realism sport. You got to understand that you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times and be a good player. So the fact of understanding and knowing that you're going to fail 7 out of those 10 times, as soon as you can come to cope with that, you're going to be the best version of the baseball player you want to be. So as soon as you can figure that out, I think the sky's the limit for any of them.
And so, Taylor, what are some keys to your off season and then this next season coming forward? What are some things that you feel like if you can get that done, that's what you need to be able to succeed?
First off, obviously we work on our bodies. We got to be physically strong and ready to endure a 162-game season. Secondly, we want to work on our brain. A lot of people don't understand this is a very mental game. Like I said before, failing 7 out of 10 times is very mental. So you work on your brain, you figure out situations that you can better yourself. You look back on the season and figure out times during the season where maybe you could have done something different. But other than those two, getting ready physically and getting excited that baseball is actually coming back. Football season's almost over, and I know I'm getting the itch again, so we're ready to get going.
Excellent. That's Taylor Motter with the Seattle Mariners. Taylor, thanks for stopping by Pybus.
Very much. Appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like in the press box up there with the Mariners.
It's wonderful. First of all, the booth at Safeco Field is second to none. It's fantastic, and it's the best seat in the house. There's no doubt about that. It's the best place to watch a game. We're very grateful to be able to call it our job to go up there and watch Mariners baseball every night.
And how did you initially get started? Because you're doing football, basketball, baseball, 3 different sports. You're doing play-by-play. How do you get in the groove of doing all those different things?
Well, for baseball, I've done baseball longer than anything. I just finished my, it was my 5th year with the Mariners and my 11th year calling baseball. I did 6 years in the minors. So baseball is definitely my bread and butter. It's what I've done longer than anything. It's what I'm most in love with. Football and basketball happen to be great ways to kind of fill up the off season. A little cross training to get better. Those take a little bit more reps probably because I'm just not as used to it. But this is my 5th year doing both of those, and it's a lot of fun to feel like you're growing a little bit and making mistakes, learn from mistakes. So it's a good way to fill the dead air of the off season time.
And so I was reading your Wikipedia page, and it said that you're a Kansas boy and that you're a Royals fan growing up. So what happens when the M's go and play in Kansas City or Kansas City comes here? Do you end up having to tone back being a homer as a broadcaster? How do you deal with that?
No, not at all. I can totally understand the question. Kansas City, the Royals were my team when I was a little kid, and then I really spent kind of my formative years in St. Louis. And so the Cardinals but kind of more my team. I've got a pair of Old Busch Stadium seats in my house in Seattle. I went to Cardinals playoff games. But even then, when the Mariners play the Cardinals in interleague play, and even when we go to Busch, although it's more emotional than the typical ballpark that we might go to, I'm a Mariners guy. I live in Seattle. The Mariners are the team that gave me my break. I'm very happy there. So I can understand why people might think that there's a chance of kind of being partial to the other side, but I'm on the Mariners payroll in more ways than one.
All right, so last question I got for you here is keys to the season. So maybe some key players you think that we should be expecting as fans watching from home. Who should we be watching? Those players that may make a difference as the season goes on.
I think there's no question one of the most exciting additions to the Mariners is D. Gordon, a guy who is not only has a track record of being a 200 hit guy in a big league season, but now has to make a new track record of playing in center field. Came up as a shortstop, then moved to second base. Now he'll be in center field for the Mariners. He steals a lot of bags and he picks up a lot of hits, and he very well could be the Mariners' leadoff hitter. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch him and Gene Segura go 1-2 or 2-1, depending on how Scott wants to draw it up. And another new face is Ryan Healy, first baseman for the Mariners, coming over from Oakland. A guy with some Northwest ties, was a Duck at Oregon and Eugene. And a guy who we saw last year firsthand with the A's can hit some pretty long home runs. So obviously the mainstays are back in the lineup, but I think this is going to be a really deep lineup for the Mariners this season.
All right, that's Aaron Goldsmith with the Seattle Mariners. Aaron, thanks for coming to Pybus.
Thank you so much. Right.
Thanks for watching this edition of the NCW Life magazine. I'm Jay Seebeck, and I'll see you all again real soon.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Carrie Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.